And that was Grégoire Filonenko, one of the survivors at Bataclan, who, by the way, is a gardener. Now, this place here is...
There's shit happening.
There's something going on here. People are running.
Keep us live, keep us live.
Okay. People are running away. We have... Qu'est-ce qui se passe? People are running. People are shooting, maybe. I just heard a shot, but I'm not sure if that's true. Okay, so this is the Place de Republique. This is the center of Paris, where after the Charlie Hebdo massacres, thousands of people gathered. The same was happening here again today. It's amazing that this was allowed to happen because there's still a state of emergency going on. And actually yesterday, the police said that people should be leaving. No, it's, people yesterday basically said they should leave, but people have decided to come back. And as you can see, it's calmed down a little bit. We don't know whether that was a scare. We have no idea what exactly was going on, but it seems to have calmed down a little bit. But of course, we are being very cautious indeed. There's the scene, someone on roller skates. Perhaps that was just a scare, but that certainly was a lot of people running. Okay, now this is an extraordinary scene here, but we'll tell you a little bit more about it later on. Let's just first of all go to my film, which I've been recording today, which is all about, excusez-moi, on n'a pas peur, which is all about the lack of fear in this city, an interesting contrast to what we just saw. Watch this. So this is the Place de la République, which is right in the center of Paris. This is where the demonstrators against these attacks meet over and over again. And about 5 minutes ago, we had thousands of people here who met here despite the fact that the police has still imposed a state of emergency, despite the fact that yesterday the police told people to go away because they didn't want large gatherings. Now, just a few minutes ago, lots of people were running. People are running again now, but we don't know. Alors, here's the police are right behind me. Okay, we're now being told to move by the police. We're being told to move by the police. We still have no idea what's going on, but clearly we're going to go behind the van. We're going to carry on talking. Right, so we've been told to move by the police. That is it's possible that there's someone there, there's some sort of threat. The police are clearly taking this very seriously.
And this place is alive with flashing blue lights, a lot of noise, a lot of sirens, a lot of police moving. So whatever's happening at Matt's area, then let's go back to him right now.
Well done.
Christophe, che passa? Matt.
What?
Go!
Go. Okay.
Talk, Matt.
So the situation is this, that we have been told to stand behind this van, and
What's going on?
we are just looking at the square. We have no idea whether there's a gunman there or not. What we do know is that the police have told us to stand clear, although this seems to be quite safe. They are fully armed, they are deployed inside the square, and as you saw earlier, now and again people start running, but there are no people left in the square. So we can edge out again slightly carefully here to have a look. It is a really bizarre situation because, of course, as I was saying earlier, there were thousands of people in the square not so long ago.
And then shooting in Rue du Char.
Okay, there is apparently a shooting going on. We don't know where, but it must be somewhere over there because that's where people have been running from. And I emphasize that we are, according to the police, in a safe position here. But this is a very live and rather alarming situation because, of course, as we know, one of the gunmen, one of the attackers is still at large. We don't know whether that's him or someone else, or whether other people have decided to join this, what the president called a war. But if this is the new normal here in Paris, these sort of scares, that is very worrying indeed, because for the most of the day, I have to say, there was a real sense of defiance, of people going about their business, of living their Sunday lives the way they always have, thumbing their nose at terrorism and extremism to prove the point that Paris will carry on living, that there is a beating heart at the center of the city, a beating heart of defiance, of normality, and then you have events like this. Suddenly things have calmed down quite significantly.
Throw to John.
Okay, John, over to where you are in Notre Dame. I wonder if this has had any impact on where you're standing at the moment. John.
Well, the local sources that we've been talking to here amid these police sirens are that it was a false alarm, but whatever it was, it scared people something rotten and gives you a sense of the contrasting relationship between what's going on out here and what's going on inside the cathedral here, where the service of remembrance is just getting underway. There's still a huge amount of activity in the streets here. Let's go back to Matt Frei, who's at the Place de Republique. Hundreds of people have run from the square in panic just a few moments ago. Matt.
Okay, tell me when.
Q, man.
Okay, now we're back at the Place de la République. It seems as if what we saw earlier was actually a false alarm. In fact, two false alarms. The police seem to have allowed people to come back into the square, but it is extraordinary that they were allowed to gather in such large numbers anyway, considering that there is a state of emergency going on right now. But everyone is very, very twitchy, and it just shows you how volatile the situation is, because just earlier today, the people of Paris, although still shocked and a little bit nervous, seem to have kind of reclaimed normality with a vengeance. And then you have this going on. It's fascinating that people have crowded back in with relatively large numbers. The police is still here, all over the place, heavily armed, keeping an eye on the situation, telling us earlier in no uncertain terms to get out. They've now told us in fairly certain terms to get back again if we wanted to. But what it does show you is that this story isn't over yet, that this is just the beginning of something, and we have no idea how this will end. Now, it'll be interesting because this square, after the Charlie Hebdo massacre at the beginning of this year, was of course packed with, at one stage, millions of people in a huge show of defiance. They will try to plan the same thing again here, but not yet. It's too early. One gunman still at large, apparently. The fear that other people might be joining this so-called war, as the president described it. So it's a very fluid and raw situation, and everyone is a little twitchy tonight, as you can tell. Now look at that banner right in the middle of the statue, même pas peur, not even scared. Now that's become the rallying cry of this crisis. We saw people with signs bearing those words all over the city today. But there was a lot of peur here earlier on. There was a lot of fear because, of course, anything could happen. And until the police is confident that the situation has been locked down, that everyone who is a perpetrator has been caught, you're going to get more stuff like this. Hopefully all false alarms and nothing more serious. You can see all the satellite trucks there, the television companies, mainly French television companies, parked in the square. I mean, this, whatever happened, would have been caught live on television, but luckily nothing happened here. And then let's just walk over here, Stephen. Here, those are the candles that have been lit in memory of the dead of Friday's massacre. And it's almost like a sort of magnetic pull. People are coming back to this place almost immediately after this scare. As quickly as they ran, they are returning. They want to be here. They want to prove to themselves, but also to the rest of the world, that Paris cannot be defeated. Let's take a closer look. And that this is all about normality regained. That this is really a conflict of ideas, a battle between tolerance and intolerance, tolerance and terror, between the medieval and the modern, and Paris is determined to stand for the modern and not be cowed. And I have to say, although feeling a little queasy myself after what just happened, it is an astonishing reversal of events. Come on, let's have a look at these candles here. Look at this. Look at all this. People are back minutes later, lighting candles, laying flowers, paying their respects to the dead. And again, même pas peur, not even scared. But we're now getting just some breaking news of unconfirmed reports, but reports nonetheless, of shooting in another part of Paris, close to here, the Marais, which is the Jewish district, former Jewish district, extremely popular with tourists. Unconfirmed reports of shooting there, but the Marais is not far from here, and it is just around the corner actually, so perhaps we'll go there later on. Monsieur, est-ce que je peux parler avec vous?
Non, j'ai pas bien parlé avec vous.
Vous êtes française?
Oui.
Ah d'accord. Nous sommes de la télévision anglaise. Alors qu'est-ce qui s'est passé? Vous êtes ici avant, quand tous les gens sont courus?
Non, j'étais de côté.
Vous étiez là?
Oui.
Vous avez peur maintenant?
Ouais, ça va. On était en train de chanter, voilà.
Okay.
Et il y a eu un grand mouvement de panique tout d'un coup. Tout le monde s'est mis à courir par là. Et,
Mais c'est très so she's just telling me that she was here and she was afraid like all of us and she ran away. But c'est très important d'être ici maintenant pour vous.
Oui, parce qu'en fait, il faut montrer qu'on n'a pas peur. Bon, là, c'est un mouvement de panique, mais il n'y avait rien. Et montrer.
Moi, dois faire la traduction. So she says, we have to show that we're not afraid, that there was a panic and panic is inevitable, but she wants to be here in the square. Vous restez ici dans la place.
Yes, we have to fight
Oh,
panic.
you speak English.
I do.
Fantastic. I'm so sorry.
We have to fight panic and stay strong, free, and together. That's why I came back here to just be
To
present
show your
here.
defiance, yes.
Yes, to show that we are strong, we're here, we're French, and we remain united and strong in front of the violence because it's worth it.
And the president has described this as a war.
Yeah.
Is that how you see it?
No, I don't want to talk about war. I think talking about this is just making it worse. So I think the most important is freedom, love, and I think that young people, I want young people to be in this way. Like
Okay, what's your name?
Lorraine.
Lorraine. Okay, thank you very much, Lorraine. Well, you heard it there.
It's a false alarm.
Again, and we've just heard, again, constantly breaking news coming through. Another false alarm, but a lot of twitchy reaction here in the Place de la République. Back to you, John, at Montmartre, at Notre Dame.